Now, Princess Shirahoshi and the King of Fishman Island have been captured by Hordy, and he has established the new Fishman Pirates to take over this kingdom. Hordy says, "My side has over 100,000 outlaws," and he reveals to Shirahoshi, "I am the one who killed your mother." This surprises everyone. But Shirahoshi does not hate Hordy, and is even willing to forgive him. So, Hordy continues to attack Shirahoshi's father and brothers, to provoke her, when he is about to execute King Neptune. All the citizens together call out Luffy's name, because he was prophesied to be the one who would destroy Fishman Island. This angers Hordy, so he decides to immediately execute Neptune, which makes the pirates rejoice. While the citizens and Shirahoshi are in despair, she sees Hordy about to kill her father. Shirahoshi calls out Luffy's name, "Please save my father." Unexpectedly, Megalo suddenly had a stomachache and vomited something out, which surprised Hordy. Suddenly, he was instantly attacked by Luffy at incredible speed, sending him flying into the cliff. This shocked everyone, as Luffy had really appeared. At this moment, Nami and Robin also appeared, and they freed Shirahoshi's father and brothers. Suddenly, the Sunny appeared in the sky, and Frankie used the Sunny's cannons to attack the Fishman pirates, to help King Neptune escape. At this moment, they realized this was the plan of Jinbei and the Straw Hat Pirates. So, the Straw Hat Pirates had fully assembled, which surprised everyone, and they asked, "Are you really going to destroy this island? Are you our ally or our enemy, Straw Hat?" Luffy replied, "Whether I'm an ally or an enemy is up to you." At this moment, Hordy's commanders saw Luffy's crew, which made them very excited, while Jinbei and Nami recalled the past. Before they arrived here, Luffy and Jinbei had an argument. Luffy wanted to immediately defeat the new Fishman pirates, but Jinbei wanted him to follow the plan, to help Luffy become the hero of Fishman Island. However, Luffy didn't want to become a hero. He said, "I'm a pirate, so I don't want to be a hero. A hero has to share meat with everyone, but I want to eat all the meat by myself." This left everyone exasperated with Luffy's definition. He realized that Luffy wanted to eat meat, so Jinbei promised to give Luffy plenty of meat. Finally, Luffy agreed to follow everyone's plan. At this moment, the citizens realized Luffy was their ally, which made them very happy, but the new Fishman pirates were still very confident. Suddenly, Brook asked Shirahoshi, "Can I see your panties?" So, Nami immediately hit him. Suddenly, Chopper noticed that they were still very calm. Meanwhile, Luffy had defeated their captain. Unexpectedly, Hordy regained consciousness, which surprised everyone, because the energy steroid he took was still effective. This excited the Fishman pirates greatly. At this moment, Hordy mocked Jinbei, saying that Jinbei and Neptune only wanted to cooperate with humans. So, he declared he would become the king of this kingdom and change everything. He even proclaimed he would turn all humans into slaves of the Fishmen. Hordy said, "I am the one who deserves to be the true pirate king." This irritated Luffy. So, Hordy ordered his 100,000 subordinates to attack Luffy's crew, making everyone worried. But Luffy's group was very excited. When Sanji and Zoro were arguing about who would defeat more enemies, Luffy stepped forward alone, leaving everyone unsure of his intentions. The pirates eagerly prepared to attack Luffy, but Luffy used Conqueror's Haki, causing all the Fishman pirates to faint. Even Hordy was astonished. As Luffy had defeated 50,000 fishmen in an instant, Robin and everyone realized that Luffy had used Conqueror's Haki, which excited them greatly. Luffy said to Hordy, "I don't care what kind of king you want to be, but the one who will become the pirate king is me." Seeing Luffy's incredible power, filled the Fishman pirates with fear, but Zio said they still had 50,000 more men, so they didn't need to fear Straw Hat Luffy. This boosted their morale. Meanwhile, Zoro and Sanji were still competing over who could kill more. Seeing Luffy's crew completely unworried, left the Fishman pirates surprised. Hordy then ordered them to attack. Luffy continued by using Gear 3 to attack them. Sanji also immediately rushed in to kick the Fishman pirates, for making Shirahoshi cry. Zoro also unleashed his technique, creating a whirlwind to attack the Fishman mob. Meanwhile, Robin was protecting Shirahoshi. Brook, on the other hand, was dancing, luring the Fishman to follow him. Unexpectedly, Brook swiftly slashed them down. People thought Chopper was caught, but he transformed into his Kung Fu point, and used martial arts to fight the Fishman. Meanwhile, Usopp shot out giant carnivorous plants. Nami unleashed her lightning to attack them. Frankie suddenly announced he would use Sunny's new weapon, making Chopper and Usopp excited. Seeing the strength of Luffy's crew, Shirahoshi felt very happy. Meanwhile, Hordy aimed to attack Shirahoshi, firing water bullets at her, but his attack was intercepted. Jinbei had blocked him. They realized Jinbei's strength was no less than Hordy's, but Jinbei told Hordy, "Your fishman karate is too weak," making the fishman pirates worried. Meanwhile, Zoro was held back by Zio's Iron Shell squad. They were confident Zoro couldn't cut through their iron shields. At that moment, Zoro remembered how he had asked Mihawk to train him to become a swordsman. So, Zoro fought against fierce baboons every day, because he didn't want to lose again. Now, Zoro unleashed his ultimate technique, creating a large whirlwind to attack the fishman crew, making their iron shields split in half. Witnessing Zoro's power, making them tremble in fear, while the mermen were flying towards Shirahoshi, Sanji realizes they intend to attack Shirahoshi from the sky, but he's being held back by the Sea Urchin Armor Spine squad, because their spines are sharp and tough, so they're confident Sanji can't attack them. Suddenly, Sanji remembers his training on Ivankov's island, where he always had to run away, because he was forced to wear women's clothes by the people here. When Sanji was surrounded, he remembered the time on Sabaody Island. Sanji didn't want that to happen again. At this moment, the Sea Urchin gang attacked Sanji, but they ended up stabbing each other. They realized Sanji had vanished. Turns out, Sanji could fly in the sky, surprising them. Sanji called this technique Skywalk. Luffy and Robin recognized this technique of Sanji's as similar to Lucci from CP9. So, he immediately ran to protect Shirahoshi, making her very happy. Sanji then used the Diable Hambi technique to attack them, creating many flames shooting at the Fishman gang, while Luffy decided to fight with Hordy, so he ran towards him. But Hordy's henchmen blocked Luffy. Thus, he immediately launched an attack on them, while Jinbei, Sanji, and Zoro easily defeated the Fishman gang. But Sanji and Zoro kept arguing over who defeated more fishmen, making Jinbei feel helpless, while Franky was preparing to unveil his new weapons, which excited Usopp and Chopper. At this time, Zoro and Sanji were still bickering. Hordy saw his henchmen being continuously defeated, making him furious. He even attacked his own men, making them frightened. And Hordy continued to order his men to capture Shirahoshi, while Franky was introducing two new weapons to Usopp and Chopper, making them very excited. So, Franky immediately showed them, on the side of the Fishman pirate gang preparing to attack Shirahoshi. Luckily, Brook arrived in time. Thus, he started playing music, making the Fishman pirates unaware of what he was doing. Unexpectedly, they felt like they were in a festival, making them excited and dancing to Brook's music, while these two commanders didn't understand what their men were doing. Unexpectedly, Brook swiftly attacked them, so fast that they didn't even realize. On Robin's side, she created two giant feet to prevent the Fishman gang from reaching Shirahoshi, while Franky's group prepared for the demonstration of their new weapons. Gate number 4 opened, surprising the Fishman pirates greatly, because it was a motorcycle, making Luffy very excited, because it looked really cool. So, Franky immediately drove the motorcycle fist into the Fishman gang. But Robin seemed indifferent. When a large fishman was about to attack Franky, Sunny's gate number 5 opened. So, the fishman was immediately knocked down. It turned out to be a tank. Seeing this tank was also very cool, making Luffy excited to want to drive it, while Chopper was happy, because he was in command. So, Chopper immediately ordered Usopp to control the tank for the attack. Thanks to that, they defeated many Fishman pirates, while the civilians were shocked, because Luffy's group only had 10 people, yet, they could completely overpower Hordy's 100,000 underlings. So, the civilians began cheering for Luffy, making Hordy very annoyed. Thus, he ordered the Kraken to appear. Seeing this gigantic sea monster made everyone worried, because it was the legendary monster Kraken. But Luffy's crew noticed that this octopus seemed familiar. Hordy said he had tried to bring the Kraken from the North Pole here, just to make it his slave. So, Hordy immediately ordered it to attack the enemies and capture Shirahoshi. So, the Kraken jumped into the battlefield, and began attacking Luffy's group. Suddenly, Luffy recognized it as Tsurume, because he had tamed it into his pet when they arrived at the Fishman Island. And Luffy saw Tsurume as his friend. Everyone thought Tsurume was attacking Luffy, but surprisingly, it was very happy to see Luffy. So, Luffy immediately ordered Tsurume to fight, making Hordy's henchmen frightened, because they didn't expect the Kraken to obey Luffy, and Luffy told Tsurume to protect Shirahoshi, making her feel very relieved. While While Hordy was very angry, at this moment, Luffy decided to continue fighting. Meanwhile, Daruma was feeling very annoyed, because his faction was being overwhelmed. So, he immediately set traps for Luffy's group, while Hyuzu was focusing on Zoro and Brook, because they were both very strong swordsmen, making him excited to find them. On Chopper's side, he was controlling the tank chasing the Fishman gang, but they were scared and fleeing. Suddenly, Chopper saw Daruma. So, he ordered Usopp to shoot him, but he kept hiding underground, making Usopp unable to aim and shoot him. Unexpectedly, their tank fell into Daruma's trap, making the Fishman pirates very pleased, seeing Frankie approaching. So, he decided to deal with Frankie, but he unexpectedly fell into his trap, making Daruma think he was a fool. Seeing his weapons falling into the enemy's trap made Frankie furious. Thus, he immediately threw Nami's group out. So, Frankie started to combine his robots together, making Usopp and Chopper excited. After a transformation process, finally, General Frankie appeared, making Chopper, Usopp, and Luffy feel it was very cool, while the Fishman pirates were shocked, because they didn't know what it was. But, Nami didn't care. At this moment, Frankie remembered his previous research. He had studied many designs by Vegapunk, so, it helped him create General Frankie. When the Fishman attacked him, they were easily defeated by Frankie, making Usopp and Chopper excited. At this point, Frankie continued to draw his giant sword, and continuously attacked the Fishman gang, but, when he used his guns, he had to go out and shoot himself. While Usopp and Chopper were very excited, Nami felt it wasn't cool at all. Suddenly, Nami was attacked by a sneaky Fishman. Luckily, she managed to block it, so, Nami immediately used her new sorcery Cleam attack, creating a strong wind that blew away the Fishman. It turned out she had studied a lot about weather science on Weatheria Island. On Usopp's side, seeing the Fishman chasing him, Usopp shot a seed into the ground, which quickly grew into sharp trees attacking them. This achievement was thanks to his diligent training with Heracles for 2 years. On Daruma's side, he was very confident that no one would find him. Suddenly, he realized someone was digging tunnels, so he was knocked up onto the ground. It turned out the one attacking him was Chopper. This form allowed Chopper to dig tunnels, making Luffy excited. Chopper said that he had been trying to improve the Rumble Ball for 2 years, so now Chopper could transform into 7 new forms. The civilians saw the Straw Hat Pirates were very powerful, making them even more confident that Luffy's group would win. While Hordy was very annoyed, because Tsurume dared to betray him to protect Shirahoshi. Thus, he threatened Tsurume to kill her, or he would capture all of its kind, and sell them to humans as slaves, making Tsurume very worried. When it was about to capture Shirahoshi, Luffy immediately told Tsurume to stop. He said, "Whether they are friends or siblings of yours, I will protect them all, because we are friends," which deeply moved Tsurume, and it released Shirahoshi. While Luffy was very angry, he stepped towards Hordy, so, his 2 commanders attacked Luffy, but, they were immediately stopped by Zoro and Sanji, because they didn't allow anyone to obstruct their captain. At this moment, Luffy used Gear 2. He immediately attacked Hordy with incredible speed, sending him flying into the cliff. Because Luffy was very angry, suddenly, the civilians were shocked, because they saw the gigantic ship of Promise charging towards Fishman Island. King Neptune recognized this ship as Noah. It was almost as large as Fishman Island itself. But, he wondered who had controlled the ship to move here, making Shirahoshi's older brother curious. King Neptune couldn't understand why he cared so much about this ship, so, King Neptune explained to him that this ship was not allowed to move until that day arrived. On Luffy's side, he was punching Hordy into the cliff, surprising his underlings. Unexpectedly, Hordy could still stand up, surprising Luffy, because he realized he was a cunning fellow. At this moment, the Fishman gang was about to attack Shirahoshi. So, they were immediately attacked by Tsurume, making Shirahoshi very happy. Thus, Luffy felt reassured leaving her to Tsurume. Suddenly, Hordy attacked Luffy with incredible speed, making his head recoil backward. But, Luffy said his punch was too weak, so, he used armament haki on his forehead. Hordy ordered the Iron Shell Squad to block Luffy. Unexpectedly, Luffy's headbutt was too strong, even knocking away their iron shields. Suddenly, Hordy appeared behind and sneak attacked Luffy, but, he was easily blocked by Luffy with haki, and Luffy immediately kicked him in the head. However, Hordy still didn't give up. He continued to use water bullets to attack Luffy. Unexpectedly, Luffy dodged all of his attacks, Jinbei realized he was using observation haki. So, Luffy immediately went to retaliate with a strong punch, sending him flying into the cliff once again. Seeing Luffy's strength, surprising everyone. Suddenly, Luffy's group also saw the gigantic Noah ship in the sky, shocking everyone, because if that ship were to fall, it will destroy the bubble layer enveloping Fishman Island. Then, the entire Fishman Island will be destroyed. Luffy's group was also very surprised, because this Noah ship is too large. If it falls, everyone will die. So, the kingdom's people immediately tried to flee. Suddenly, a gigantic fishman fell from the Noah ship, surprising everyone. They realized he was Wadatsumi, one of Decken's subordinates. At this moment, Hordy regained consciousness, surprising Luffy, because he could still stand up after his powerful attacks. Suddenly, Hordy realized this gigantic Noah ship was controlled by Decken to come here, making him furious, because this was not part of their plan. While Decken was very excited, because this time he would definitely capture Shirahoshi. At this moment, Jinbei realized that his target was Shirahoshi. It turns out, 10 years ago, he had always shown his love for Shirahoshi, but she had never reciprocated his feelings, and he had eaten the mark cursed devil fruit, allowing him to control anything to pursue his target until death. So, he used the power of the devil fruit on this ship, and controlled it to chase Shirahoshi, making everyone terrified. At this moment, the Noah ship had begun to collide with the bubble layer. Suddenly, no one could see Shirahoshi anymore, making Jinbei worried. It turns out, she had flown up into the sky to stop Decken, surprising everyone. At this moment, Shirahoshi realized Decken was targeting her, so, she was determined to protect the kingdom. Shirahoshi tried to fly higher, to lure the flying ship up. People noticed the Noah ship was changing direction, making Luffy's group very worried, while the civilians realized their princess was sacrificing herself to save the entire kingdom. But Decken felt very pleased, because this time, Shirahoshi wouldn't be able to escape him anymore. So, he used his knife to attack Shirahoshi, injuring her shoulder. Shirahoshi tried to run away as fast as she could, so that the pursuing ship would fall off Fishman Island. Luffy realized Shirahoshi was in danger, thus, he chased after her. Suddenly, they also couldn't see Hordy anywhere. Turns out, he had climbed aboard the Noah ship, because he had devised a plan to destroy Fishman Island. At this moment, Sanji was trying to chase after to rescue Shirahoshi. Luffy then said to him, "I will rescue Shirahoshi." So, Jinbei immediately gave Luffy a bubbly coral, for him to chase after and save the princess. And Luffy immediately grabbed Sanji's leg, while the people were worrying about their princess. Meanwhile, Decken was eagerly pursuing her. Shirahoshi realized she needed to quickly leave Fishman Island, but the main gate was too far away. So, Shirahoshi tried to run as fast as she could. The people didn't know how to help Shirahoshi, because they saw Hordy also chasing after the princess. At this moment, Jinbei warned Luffy that fighting underwater would give the advantage to the fishmen. So, Sanji put all his strength into his leg, and kicked Luffy straight towards the Noah ship, making him fly at a very fast speed. Luckily, Luffy managed to get into the bubble of the Noah ship. At this moment, he saw Hordy also climbing up here. Suddenly, Luffy realized the people were trying to pull back the Noah ship to help their princess slow down the ship, but this ship was too large, so they didn't have enough strength. Unexpectedly, Hordy mocked and attacked them, because he believed their efforts were futile, causing many people to get injured. Witnessing Hordy's cruelty, making Shirahoshi burst into tears, so she had to quickly leave Fishman Island. Finally, Shirahoshi saw the entrance to the gate, thus, she immediately ran inside. Thanks to that, the Noah ship gradually departed from the island, but Luffy was also out of the water, so he immediately used bubbly coral to create a protective bubble layer. Seeing Luffy struggling to move, making Hordy very pleased, and he appeared behind Luffy. So, Luffy immediately attacked him, but underwater, he moved too fast, thus, Luffy couldn't hit him. Hordy then used water bullets to attack Luffy, causing his bubble to burst. It turns out he realized that seawater was also the weakness of devil fruit users. So, Luffy sank to the bottom of the sea. When he was about to finish off Luffy, fortunately, Fukaboshi intervened and saved Luffy. Thus, he created a bubble to help Luffy breathe. Thanks to that, Luffy was safe. But, Hordy still wanted to continue attacking them. Meanwhile, Shirahoshi was trying to run as fast as she could, because she realized the kingdom's citizens were trying to help her, so she couldn't betray their trust. while Decken was very eager. And he forced Shirahoshi to marry him, but she kept rejecting him, making Decken desperate. So, he was determined to kill Shirahoshi, and he threw knives at her. Fortunately, Shirahoshi's two brothers saved her in time, making Shirahoshi very happy. Her two brothers said they must protect the Noah ship, because it is the symbol of hope for Fishman Island. So, Shirahoshi swam upwards, to prevent the Noah ship from colliding with the underwater mountains. Meanwhile, Luffy thanked Fukaboshi for saving him, but Fukaboshi was also injured. At this moment, they realized Hordy was still chasing them. He even attached a knife to his back, and charged at Luffy at high speed. Fortunately, they managed to dodge him, but he continued to pursue them. Unexpectedly, his knife was very sharp. It could cut through everything in his path. Suddenly, Luffy and Fukaboshi saw the Noah ship heading upwards. So, Luffy told him to quickly get inside the Noah ship, because earlier Jinbei had told Luffy that Decken also ate a devil fruit. Thus, there would definitely be air inside the Noah ship. It would be the best place for Luffy to fight Hordy. Unexpectedly, Hordy also wanted to quickly follow the Noah to carry out his plan. At this moment, Luffy told Fukaboshi to chase Hordy, but he had another plan. Meanwhile, Decken was still chasing Shirahoshi. Suddenly, he saw that Hordy had boarded the ship, made him surprised. While Decken was very happy with his new plan, then, Hordy immediately attacked him, made him shocked. It turned out Hordy wanted the Noah ship to fall back to Fishman Island, made Decken severely injured, but his hand had touched Hordy, so he threw a hammer flying away. Hordy thought he had missed the throw, and he blamed Decken for not following his plan. Thus, Hordy decided to kill Decken, causing his devil fruit power to disappear. So, the Noah ship would fall to Fishman Island once again, thus destroying the Straw Hat Pirates and annihilating the kingdom. Suddenly, Decken attacked Hordy, but he was bitten on the leg by Hordy. Unexpectedly, the hammer Decken threw came back towards Decken, causing him to be hit by his own attack. So, Decken was defeated, making him fall below the Noah ship. While Hordy felt very pleased, because his plan was about to succeed. Suddenly, Hordy saw Shirahoshi swimming above, thus, he decided to deal with her. Shirahoshi's two brothers were shocked, so they blocked Hordy, but they were immediately defeated by Hordy, making Shirahoshi worried. However, Shirahoshi's brother told her to run away. Thus, Shirahoshi had to run away. Unexpectedly, Hordy's swimming speed was very fast. He continuously chased after Shirahoshi and caught her. As he was about to deal with Shirahoshi, suddenly, Luffy appeared. So, he immediately grabbed Hordy's shoulder, causing him a lot of pain, forcing him to release Shirahoshi. Seeing Luffy constantly ruining his plans, made Hordy very angry. On Fishman Island, people were cheering for Tsurume to fight against Wadatsumi. Zio gave him an energy steroid pill. Unexpectedly, upon consuming the pill, it turned Wadatsumi's body and eyes red. This increased his strength significantly. He immediately attacked and knocked down Tsurume, much to the delight of the Fishman pirate crew. Suddenly, he aimed for Jinbei, but Jinbei promptly countered with Fishman karate. With just one kick, he managed to block the giant's attack, shocking the Fishman pirates. He unexpectedly fell towards Nami, making Sanji furious, so he immediately kicked Wadatsumi in the head, because Sanji wouldn't allow anyone to harm Nami. Jinbei and Sanji decide to fight against this giant. On Robin's side, she has employed her giant arms to attack the Fishman crew. Meanwhile, Hyuzu was drunk, and he had consumed a lot of energy steroids. On Zoro's side, he is currently battling the Fishman crew. Suddenly, a large fishman attacks him, while he is proclaiming himself as the strongest swordsman of the Fishman pirates. Meanwhile, Hyuzu begins to transform, causing his octopus legs to enlarge. His hair even turned white. While Zoro is still battling this fishman, he unexpectedly uses light to dazzle Zoro, thinking he has defeated Zoro. But Zoro cuts off his light source and sends him flying. Suddenly, he is subdued by Hyuzu, because Hyuzu claimed he was the strongest swordsman among the Fishman pirates. He even crazily attacked his own subordinates, making the Fishman pirates very afraid. When Hyuzu was about to sneak attack Robin, Zoro immediately stopped him, surprising the Fishman crew. While Zoro found it quite amusing, Zoro decided to use this guy as a warm-up before he enters the new world. Meanwhile, Luffy noticed he had weakened a lot underwater, causing Hordy to become enraged, and he mocked humans as inferior creatures. Hordy said, "I will destroy Fishman Island and kill all your friends." but Luffy declared, "I will protect everyone." At this point, Hordy remained confident in his plan, and he said, "It's too late." Surprising Shirahoshi's brothers, they realized Decken had been defeated by Hordy. If he dies or faints, then the Noah will fall back to Fishman Island. On Sanji's side, he was still furious, because this giant dared to make Nami fall. So, he immediately attacked him. When he punched Sanji, Sanji managed to dodge and kicked him straight in the face, making him fall down again. While Nami was conjuring up dark, electrified clouds, and she shocked the Fishman gang, making them very painful. Ikaros and Zio realized that Sanji would be provoked whenever Nami was hurt, so they thought she was the weak point of the Straw Hat crew. Suddenly, Zio disappeared and grabbed Nami's leg, rendering her unable to move. When Ikaros was about to attack Nami, luckily, Brook appeared in time to intercept the blow for her, perplexing Ikaros, because he couldn't injure Brook. Upon realizing Brook was just a skeleton, he was shocked. Suddenly, Frankie appeared and punched him in the face, making him furious, because Nami's group dared to belittle him. Suddenly, Brook realized he was standing on Zio's face, surprising Nami. Although Brook apologized, but he was very angry. On Chopper's side, he was tunneling with Daruma, causing the Fishman pirates above to fall into the pit. Meanwhile, Usopp was being targeted by Dosun, so he immediately ambushed Usopp. Unexpectedly, Chopper jumped up to attack him. It turned out Usopp and Chopper had planned beforehand. Usopp then shot a bullet into the tunnel Chopper had dug, creating a massive explosion, forcing Daruma to emerge from the ground. But it made them very angry, and they decided to defeat Usopp and Chopper, so all of them took energy steroids at once, making them much stronger. On Zoro's side, he was battling Hyuzu. Although they recognized that these Fishman pirates were stronger, they remained confident in defeating them, while the civilians were very worried about Shirahoshi, so they prayed for Luffy to win. Shirahoshi was still trying to swim up quickly, to pull Noah away from Fishman Island, but Hordy had defeated her brother. Luffy realized if Shirahoshi continued swimming up, the ship would fall back onto Fishman Island. So, Luffy immediately chased after her to instruct Shirahoshi to change direction. But Hordy intercepted them, as he wouldn't let them interfere with his plan. Suddenly, Shirahoshi heard someone's voice, which helped her change course, angering Hordy. When he tried to chase Shirahoshi, Luffy caught him, but underwater, Luffy weakened, so he let go of Hordy. At this moment, Hordy realized Decken was still alive, so Noah was still pursuing Shirahoshi. While Luffy's group was trying to stop Hordy, Decken prepared to throw a large hammer towards him, but he was too weak and slipped, causing him to faint. Thus, Noah fell back to Fishman Island, shocking Luffy's group, because Fishman Island was in danger. Seeing Noah falling back, making Hordy amused, while Luffy's group and Shirahoshi were very worried. They didn't know how to stop this ship. Hordy said, "If you want to stop this ship, you must defeat me first." Fukaboshi realized they couldn't let Noah and Fishman Island be destroyed, because Noah had been a symbol of protection for Fishman Island for hundreds of years. It turned out that earlier, King Neptune had told them, Noah had made a promise to a great person. It had to stay here to fulfill its mission, so they needed to protect this Noah ship until that promise was fulfilled. On Hordy's side, he was very amused, because now they wouldn't have any way to stop Noah anymore, and he kept mocking Luffy's words about protecting everyone, making Luffy very annoyed. He said, "I will smash this ship to pieces before it crashes into Fishman Island," making Fukaboshi worried, because they couldn't let him destroy the history of Fishman Island. He said that if they could wake Decken up, he could help change the course of the ship. Seeing Luffy and Fukaboshi arguing, made Hordy very amused. While Shirahoshi was very worried, she rushed towards the ship to wake Decken up, making Hordy angry. He attacked her. Fortunately, Shirahoshi's brother intervened to stop him. When he tried to attack her again, Luffy rushed towards him. But, Luffy was bitten on the shoulder by Hordy, causing him great pain. So, Luffy immediately punched him into the ship. Luffy realized he was at a disadvantage fighting underwater. Thus, he had to go inside the ship. Unexpectedly, Hordy's teeth grew back, and he immediately cut the bubble layer of the Noah ship, causing the air on the ship to escape, because he believed Luffy would never be able to defeat him underwater. When Luffy attacked him, so, Hordy managed to dodge. Luffy realized he wanted to destroy his bubble, thus, he kept avoiding Hordy's attacks. Seeing Luffy in danger, seeing Shirahoshi worried, Fukaboshi immediately reassured Shirahoshi, and he immediately ran to help Luffy. When Luffy was about to be hit by Hordy, Fukaboshi hit Luffy towards Shirahoshi, and he decided to intercept Hordy. Fukaboshi immediately created a water column to attack Hordy, but he managed to avoid it, and Hordy quickly defeated Fukaboshi, shocking Luffy and Shirahoshi. At this point, Hordy was very confident in his strength. Unexpectedly, Fukaboshi stood up again. He said his strength was only a facade, so Hordy continued to attack him, but Fukaboshi quickly gained the upper hand, and he asked him, why does he hate humans so much? However, Hordy's answer surprised Fukaboshi, and he was immediately defeated and thrown away by him, causing concern for Shirahoshi, but she promptly took Luffy away, because her brother had previously instructed her, no matter what happens, do not leave Noah. Suddenly, Luffy received a call from the palace guards. It turned out Fukaboshi had instructed them to prepare ample air beforehand, to help Luffy fight Hordy in a more favorable environment. At this point, they had inflated a large bubble, to prepare to cover the Noah ship. But Hordy continued to pursue Shirahoshi, so Luffy immediately intervened, and punched him away, forcing Hordy to continue consuming more energy steroids, to further increase his strength, making Shirahoshi very worried. Suddenly, Fukaboshi informed Luffy, I know who Hordy is now. On Sanji's side, he was fighting this giant, but he couldn't land a hit on Sanji, and was immediately struck in the leg by Jinbei, making him very angry, so he immediately inflated his body to bulk up. But Sanji thought he was just a fool. He even accidentally attacked his own side. At this moment, King Neptune was very worried, because if Noah fell onto Fishman Island, everything would be completely destroyed. Therefore, the royal army evacuated the civilians, and they immediately came to aid Luffy's group, so they fought against Hordy's underlings. Suddenly, they discovered among them were humans. It turned out they were all slaves captured by Hordy. At this moment, Hammond was commanding the human slaves, as he viewed humans as inferior beings, making Robin and Jinbei uncomfortable. He told Robin to help them liberate the humans, even though fishmen held grudges against humans. However, he also didn't want to witness this scene of slavery, so Robin agreed to help set them free. She immediately used her devil fruit power, and took Hammond's keys. Thanks to that, the slaves were liberated. They realized Robin had saved them. She told them it was at Jinbei's request. Suddenly, Hammond attacked and captured Robin, but it was just her clone, so Robin immediately appeared behind him. Even there were two Robins, and she immediately broke his neck and legs. Seeing their commander defeated, the fish man immediately rushed to attack Robin. The human slaves immediately intervened, to repay Robin for saving them. Suddenly, everyone received a notification that Noah was falling back to Fishman Island, surprising Luffy's group, while the civilians were frightened and running away. But those who were watching Luffy's group's battle didn't run away, because they realized the Straw Hat Pirates were fighting for them, so they were determined not to flee. Suddenly, the soldiers began broadcasting Fukaboshi and Luffy's conversation live, surprising everyone. At this point, he revealed the truth about Hordy. He was a heartless monster created by the environment. Even his pirate crew was born out of hatred, surprising Luffy and everyone else. While Hordy was still trying to chase Shirahoshi, he only viewed humans as inferior creatures, and he remembered his past. It turns out Hordy was born in a slum area. From a young age, he harbored a deep hatred for humans, because they often enslaved fishmen, and he greatly admired Arlong. So, Arlong implanted ideas of hatred against humans into his mind. But when they heard that Fisher Tiger had died, Hordy also began to form his own crew, and he planned to kill Shirahoshi's mother, so now, he's just a monster consumed by hatred. While Fukaboshi remembered his mother's death, he realized how terrible Fishman Island's past was. Thus, he cried and begged Luffy to help reset Fishman Island's past. At this point, the soldiers had also filled the bubble with air, so they pushed it towards the Noah ship, helping the ship regain its air. Then, Luffy declared, "We will definitely save Fishman Island, because we're friends," making everyone hear Luffy's voice, very joyful. So, Luffy began to fight with Hordy. Meanwhile, Frankie was fighting Ikaros. He immediately spewed fire to turn him into grilled squid, making Chopper very excited. When Dosun was about to sneak attack him, Chopper transformed to block his hammer, making him step back, while Zoro was sword fighting with this octopus guy. But Zoro immediately shattered his swords. On Brook's side, Zio was nowhere to be seen. Turns out he was stealthily planning to attack him. Unexpectedly, Brook stabbed him, causing him a lot of pain, but he still didn't believe Brook could defeat him, so he continued to sneak attack Brook while invisible. And he used his weapon to slash at Brook's neck. Unexpectedly, he made Brook's head fall off. At this moment, he remembered his 2 years of training. He helped Brook discover the true power of the revived devil fruit. While Zio was very happy, because he thought Brook was dead, but Brook was still alive, and he reattached his head, surprising them. So, he began to counterattack Zio, creating an ice sword slash towards him, making him very angry. Thus, Zio continued to stay invisible, while Usopp was being attacked by Daruma. Unexpectedly, he burst into flames and charged towards him, but he was too fast. When he thought Usopp couldn't shoot him, Usopp said, "I've set the trap." At this moment, Hordy rushed very quickly towards Luffy, so he immediately used Gear 2 and sent him flying. Unexpectedly, Hordy was able to stop, making Hordy very confident in his own strength, so he rushed towards Luffy once again. Luffy immediately stretched his arm backwards and used Haki. At this moment, he remembered Ace, so Luffy made his arm burst into flames and threw a very powerful punch at Hordy, sending him straight into the Noah ship, making everyone very happy. Luffy realized it wasn't over yet, so Luffy told Shirahoshi to take him inside the ship. On the Fishman pirate side, they thought Hordy had lost. Thus, they were immediately attacked by Zio, because he believed Hordy wouldn't lose. Seeing him attack his subordinates, Brook intervened. While Zio thought they couldn't win this battle, Brook said, "Luffy will one day become the Pirate King, so he will surely protect Fishman Island." At this moment, Sanji realized this giant was a fool. Thus, he and Jinbei decided to cooperate to defeat him. While the octopus guy was sad about losing his sword, Zoro thought he had given up. Unexpectedly, he intended to immediately use sneak attacks. On Frankie and Usopp's side, they were also preparing to end their fights. Suddenly, they saw Chopper had transformed into a giant monster, making Usopp worried. Because last time he lost control. Unexpectedly, this time Chopper had control over this form, while Hordy was severely injured. So, he continued to consume a lot of energy steroids, surprising everyone. So, Luffy also entered inside the ship. He saw Hordy's strength continue to increase. Suddenly, Luffy's shoulder started hurting again, because of Hordy's previous bite. At this moment, Hordy stood up again, and he immediately attacked him. So, Luffy fought back. Unexpectedly, he moved very fast, able to dodge all of Luffy's attacks. Thus, Hordy caught him, and immediately sent Luffy flying, making Shirahoshi very worried. But, Luffy still got up. He then attacked him with a very powerful blow. However, Hordy bit into Luffy's shoulder. Despite the pain, Luffy still used the Red Hawk technique once again, and he punched Hordy with a really strong hit, sending him flying. But, he still tried to stop. Hordy's teeth immediately grew back. He was very confident in his strong teeth. Luffy realized that the Red Hawk technique was no longer effective. At this moment, Hordy had great trust in his artificial strength, and he declared his intention to destroy Fishman Island. Fukaboshi realized the energy steroids had turned Hordy into a real monster, making everyone worried. While Zio remained confident, no one could stop Hordy's plan. Then Brook said, "Luffy will definitely not lose." At this moment, Chopper could control his form, so Usopp praised him, making Chopper embarrassed. While Ikaros was about to deal with Frankie, he decided to use his last move. Frankie also emerged to confront him directly. On Zoro's side, he didn't want to fight with the octopus guy anymore. Unexpectedly, he had poisoned the swords, planning to sneak attack Zoro. While this giant was being provoked by Sanji, he kept inflating his body, so Jinbei intended to stop him. On Hordy's side, he was still mocking Luffy, saying he would destroy everything. But Luffy said, "I will definitely protect everyone." At this moment, he decided to end this battle. So, Hordy turned water droplets into sharks to attack him. Unexpectedly, he hit Luffy, making Shirahoshi worried. While Hordy thought he had defeated Luffy, suddenly, he used Gear 3 combined with Haki. Hordy immediately attacked him. So, Luffy also unleashed his punch, and blocked his water bullets. Unexpectedly, Luffy punched Hordy into the ship's hull, exhausting him. But, he still believed no one could stop the Noah ship. Suddenly, Luffy continued to inflate both of his arms, and he immediately continued to throw giant punches at Hordy. On Brook's side, he had stepped past Zio, surprising him. He said, "I've cut you down." So, Brook won, while Usopp had activated his trap, sending Daruma flying. unable to move freely, and Usopp shot out a giant wolf-shaped tree, creating a shockwave that knocked down Daruma. Chopper had defeated Dosun with just one slap. On Frankie's side, he used his laser beam, instantly turning the enemy into dried squid. At this point, Jinbei used Fishman Karate, sending the giant flying. Then, it was Sanji's turn. He remembered his 2 years of hell, making Sanji furious and burst into flames, and he immediately defeated the giant fishman, while Zoro was being sneak attacked by the octopus guy. But, he immediately defeated him with just one strike. On Luffy's side, he kept punching Hordy relentlessly, sending him flying off the Noah ship. At this moment, Hordy's subordinates were shocked, seeing their commanders defeated. Even the giant was knocked down by Sanji, making them terrified. While everyone was still in shock, because of the Straw Hat Crew's strength, they received the news that Luffy had defeated Hordy, making everyone very happy, because the Straw Hat Crew had won. But, they realized the Noah was still falling, making everyone panic. When they thought Fishman Island would be destroyed, the soldiers said, Luffy hadn't given up yet. It turned out he had been continuously throwing punches to destroy the Noah ship, surprising everyone. While the Straw Hat Crew was very confident in Luffy, the people of Fishman Island were all afraid. But, many still believed in Luffy, because they had been protected by the Whitebeard pirates before. So, they trusted Luffy to save Fishman Island. Everyone cheered for Luffy, while Luffy was still trying his best, and he had destroyed half of the Noah ship. But, Shirahoshi noticed that Luffy's wound was bleeding heavily, making her very worried. Seeing Luffy trying for Fishman Island, King Neptune realized he couldn't keep his promise to Joy Boy to continue protecting the Noah ship. While Luffy was still trying to destroy the Noah, suddenly, he heard a voice, making Luffy curious. Not knowing who was talking to him, Shirahoshi ran to stop Luffy. She told Luffy, the Noah ship has stopped. It turns out a massive herd of Sea Kings held the ship back, surprising Luffy. At this point, Luffy's wound was bleeding heavily, but he felt relieved, because the ship had stopped. Suddenly, the Sea Kings started speaking, surprising Shirahoshi. They realized Luffy was very powerful. It turns out Shirahoshi had called them. Sea King said to Shirahoshi, our strength is yours. While everyone on Fishman Island was waiting for news, they received the message that the Noah had stopped, making everyone very happy, because Luffy had saved Fishman Island. While Luffy was unconscious, the Sea King said to Shirahoshi, they had always been waiting for her to be born. It turns out the Noah ship was constructed for the Sea Kings to pull. They revealed to Shirahoshi that every few hundred years, their king will be born. That person will take the form of a mermaid, and Shirahoshi is their queen, surprising Shirahoshi's brothers, because she could communicate with the Sea Kings. At this moment, King Neptune realized Shirahoshi's power had awakened. It could potentially destroy the entire world. Shirahoshi saw Luffy falling, so she ran to rescue him. While the Sea Kings were pulling Noah back, they realized Luffy could hear their voices. It turns out they had encountered someone who could hear them before. That was none other than the Pirate King. Roger, on Hachi's side, he was tending to his wounds. Suddenly, they saw a herd of Sea Kings pulling Noah back, shocking them. At this moment, the Sea Kings wondered, not knowing if Noah can be repaired, because only one clan can repair this ship. On Jinbei's side, he's blocking the Fishman pirates from fleeing, to let King Neptune deal with them. At this moment, Shirahoshi's brothers have brought Hordy and Decken back, so they immediately captured these Fishman pirates, making everyone very happy. Suddenly, Shirahoshi brought Luffy back. She said Luffy was losing a lot of blood, making everyone worried. But Chopper still couldn't move, so Robin supported Chopper. He realized Luffy needed a blood transfusion urgently, because he had lost a lot of blood. They asked everyone if anyone here had type F blood that matched Luffy's, but they all remained silent, because this kingdom prohibits donating blood to humans. So, everyone dared not donate blood to Luffy. Suddenly, Jinbei stepped forward. He said he has type F blood, because he's a pirate, so he's not afraid of the law. King Neptune realized the laws of this kingdom are outdated. Thus, Jinbei lay down to prepare for the blood transfusion for Luffy. At this moment, everyone remained silent, watching Jinbei donate blood to Luffy, because finally, the barrier and animosity between humans and fishmen were about to be erased. Seeing Luffy awake made everyone very happy. At this point, Luffy asked Jinbei, do you want to join my crew? Today's video ends here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to support Oni-chan in the next videos. Thank you for watching. Love you all.